Scott Sim is your 2009 UHL champion. Welcome to Inside the UHL. Yes, that is right, ladies and gentlemen. We had our final game, our championship game between Scott Sim and Greg Davio, and Scott Sim won what is being called an epic thriller, an unbelievable game, and a game that's clearly in the top 5, maybe even top 3 UHL games of all time. It was just a phenomenal game. Let's get right down to it. Came out, Greg Davio had Nick Lyonet, and Scott Sim had Mac Rudinsky in net. All 4 players played an amazing game. Let's get to it, though. First period, Greg Davio dominated the first period. Scoring chances were 8-3 for Davio, and he was just putting the pressure on. And the fact of the matter is, Scott couldn't get anything by him. He couldn't get anything by Greg. Greg played a great defensive game. He really stopped Scott from getting any scoring opportunities, and Nick did what he had to. And then Greg put a goal in the first period. So at the end of the first, it was 1-0. Second period was a bit of an odd period because it just started to pour rain. Nobody wanted to stop the game though, and it was just pouring out like for 5 whole minutes, just absolute rain. And that may have caused one of the goals that Nick Lyonet, and it was a long shot that I don't think he saw, and it just went in. And so it was 1-1. And then Greg went up 2-1, and then it was 2-2, and then Greg went up 3-2, and at the end of the second, it was 3-3, and then the rain stopped. So then for going into the third period, it was a 3-3 game, and Scott Sim took an early 4-3 lead on a great goal. And then as the period went on, he got another 5-3, and it was quickly looking like the tables turned. Greg played an unbelievable game, but Scott just kept the pressure going, and he capitalized on his opportunities. And then Greg quickly got one back, and then with less than a minute left, Greg Davio puts the icing on the cake and tops off a great game and sends it to overtime, 5-5 at the end of 3 periods. Just an unbelievable game. It was great. Everyone that was there, we had other than myself, we had three players there watching it, and everyone was enjoying it. It was just a great game, and then we go into overtime. And the way that the overtime worked was we were going to have a 5-minute overtime. In that overtime, a very evenly matched overtime, as back and forth, 3-3 the opportunities, but no one could put anything in the net, so we went to a second overtime. And in that second overtime, you could really tell fatigue was being a factor. Scott Sim was slowing down, and Greg Davio had the best scoring opportunity, hitting one right off the crossbar. An unbelievable play, but just couldn't finish it, and that proved to be costly, as in the third overtime, nothing was settled, but then we went to a shootout, and in the shootout, Scott Sim won 1-0 on 3 shots. Just a great game. Congratulations to Scott Sim for being the 2009 UHL champion. He played an unbelievable game, but let's get to why Scott won. Scott, clearly not as athletic as Greg, and it really showed in that game as he was really tired, really slowing down, and couldn't seem to muster up a lot of opportunities as the overtime was going on. But the reason he won was because of defense. He played great defense. He was losing energy, and he conserved his energy and played defense from that point on. He stopped Greg. Greg couldn't. One move, Greg using his basketball skills and trying to just move in, post up Scott, but Scott was just there and he wouldn't let him in. And Greg, with limited scoring opportunities, and he wasn't able to take many shots or get very close to the net. It was just a great defensive effort by Scott, and that was a big reason why he won. Now, he did let down in the third when he was up 2 goals to let the lead slip away, but he got it done in the end with a great shootout shot, just a rocket that went right by Lai. But let's talk about Davio. I mean, the guy came in as the clear underdog. No one really expected him to win. No one even expected him to be there, and he played amazing. He played unbelievable. For the first 2 periods, for this game, he rightfully should have won. I mean, Scott, you can say, the guys who were there can say whatever they want to. Some people are saying that Scott didn't deserve the win, but in the end, he may not have deserved it, but he got the job done. That's all. And they don't ask how; they just ask how many did you score. And he got the job done. Greg Davio deserves a ton of credit. He played his heart out. He was putting the pressure on. He was I mean, in the first two periods, Scott couldn't get a ball by him, just because Greg was anticipating every play Scott was making. And just an unbelievable game. Everybody, even the goalies played phenomenal. Nick Lai in the first period gave a couple of turnovers away, but then somehow managed to get back and make saves. I mean, he made unbelievable saves, diving saves. And Matt Grudzinski at the other end made huge glove saves and big rebound saves. I mean, it was just a great game, and everyone played well. But Scott Sim comes out as your UHL champion, and thus ends a great season 2 in the UHL. You know, it has been an unbelievable season. Thank you to everyone that has played and has helped out and has come out. You know, we want to thank Edward Dodsworth for holding all the equipment at his house. And it was just a great season. And thank you all for coming out. We hope to have a UHL Season 3. No word yet of who's confirmed to play, but we will get that together in April. Anyways, congratulations to Scott Sim, our 2009 UHL champion. We are going to have next week a UHL All-Star game, so keep updated on the site for that, and hopefully those that are invited to play can show up. From everyone at the desk of Inside the UHL, we thank you very much, and we'll see you at the All-Star game.